Hi students, today we are looking at subtracting rational numbers. Oops, this should say subtracting, I'm so sorry. Subtracting rational numbers. And your learning target is I can subtract rational numbers. So again, if you haven't watched the adding rational numbers video recently, your definition of rational numbers is any number that can be expressed as a fraction. And if you need a review on rational numbers, please go back and watch the adding rational numbers video as a refresher. And then in the previous video, we did same sign sum and different signs difference. Today, we are going to work on add the opposite. Let me get out of green. And so let's look at this first one. And we can again use a number line if we want to. 3 take away 2. And just draw a simple number line. 3, 2, 1. And 0. Okay, so 3 take away 2. The 3 tells us to start on the 3. When we're subtracting, we move to the left. So we go 1, 2, and we get to the 1, right? All right, so we know that 3 take away 2 is 1. Well, now we're going to have a bunch of negative signs mixed in with our subtraction problems. Notice on all of these examples, we are subtracting. Here's a subtraction sign, here's one, and here's one. We're subtracting on all of them. So our mindset is that we're going to be moving to the left, okay? Because subtraction, I'll write it up here again like I did in the last video, subtraction, when we're subtracting, we move to the left, okay? So keep that in mind, and let's look at this one. -3 take away -5. All right, so let me put -3 right here in the middle. And you can do this on your paper as well. -3, and then let's make this -4, -5, oops, -6. This would be -2, -1, 0. Actually, we need this to go a little farther. We need this to go to at least 10. So I'm going to erase this and do that again. You do that on your paper too. Okay, so I fixed my number line. Oops, now it's not connected. And there's my connection. Okay, so again, let's look at this. Our first number is a -3. That tells us where to start. So here's my -3. Now it's subtracting, so it's telling us to move to the left. However, we have a negative number that we're subtracting. So we're taking the inverse of this negative number. And this is where the phrase add the opposite comes in. So I'm going to color code this. I'm going to make add the opposites purple. So when we have add the opposites, it's when you have two negative signs right next to each other like this. And you literally change this one to an addition sign and this one to an addition sign. And when you change them, I always say add the opposite as I write those new lines on there. So now I have -3 plus +5. Okay, well, -3 plus +5, well, now I'm adding, and remember when I add, it means I need to go to the right. So on this one, I'm actually going to be going up 1, 2, 3, oh, I don't have enough lines, 4, 5. And I'm ending right here on, this would be +1, and this one would be +2. So my answer is +2. And then if you look and you remember from the previous video, we have a negative and we're adding it to a positive, and we did the different signs difference basically is what we did. We did 5 take away 3 is 2, and now we have to look for the bigger number, and the bigger number is a positive. The bigger number is 5, and this was a +5. So our final answer will be a +2. And that's not a 42, that's positive. +2. Okay, so our +2. Okay, now I'm going to keep this, add the opposite, I'm going to still keep it in purple because right here I have another add the opposite. This one, I have 4 minus -7. Add the opposite. And now I have 4 plus +7. Well, can I do 4 plus +7? You might not even need to draw a number line for it. You can just do 4 plus 7 equals Oh, that's a weird equal sign. Equals 11. And 11 would be your answer. Okay, so 11 is your answer for that. And then what about this one? 5 take away 7. Well, you might be able to think about that in your head, but in case you can't, this is another different signs, different problem. And let me show you what I mean. I think I used pink for, or no, I think I used green for the last one. I'll do green again. Different signs, different. So different signs. Remember, this is a positive 5, and here's a negative 7. Positive 5, you can think of this as positive 5 plus negative 7 in parentheses. That's how you can think about those. But positive 5 plus negative 7, well, different signs, different. So 7 take away 5. 7 take away 5 is 2. And the 7 is bigger, so we keep the sign of the 7, and the 7 had a negative sign. So our answer is going to be negative 2. And that makes sense because if you have 5 M&Ms and you have 7 friends that want them, you're going to be 2 short. You're going to be negative 2 would be your final answer as negative 2. All right, so go ahead and fill in an example for the add the opposite problem right here. See if you can think of your own add the opposite problem and fill it in on this line. And if you couldn't think of a different signs difference from your last one, go ahead and write it in on this line. Go ahead and pause the video now while you do that. All right, so now that we've seen a few examples, let's go ahead and look down at this practice. And I'm going to write the problems that you need to complete right here. And let's go ahead and start with number 1. Actually, I'll write them all out and then I'll discuss them in just a little bit. Okay, so here are your practice problems. I'm sorry I had to handwrite them. I'll be typing them in the future, but negative 3 minus 4, negative 5 minus negative 6, negative 8 minus 3, 9 minus negative 4, and 2 minus 5. And go ahead and solve these problems, show your work so I can check them in class, and then I will be looking over all of your notes to make sure that you followed along with this video for your homework. All right, and please come to class with any questions that you might have. I'll leave this here so you can pause the video and copy down the problems. This is not a quiz, this is just your practice that you're completing at home. Okay, so have a good day and I will see you in class soon.